going to turn on our pan at a very, very low heat. We're going to put in 3 tablespoons of oil. Now we're going to swirl that oil around, get it good and mixed in. Coat the side thoroughly. Remember, when making crispy treats, you need to thoroughly coat the sides of the pan. So you need the recipe calls for 10 ounces. There are 16 ounces in this bag. So we're going to use about 2/3 of this bag to make our marshmallow treats. Now you don't have to make a full recipe. If you want, you just cut the recipe in half. So, I'm using about 1/3 of the total bag. You just have to remember to cut the remaining ingredients. In this case, you do not cut the oil, because the oil is just to make the pan non-sticky. Alright, and you can see the marshmallows are already starting to melt. Now, the recipe called for 3 cups of cereal, so we're going to add 1.5 cups. Correction, the recipe calls for 6 cups of cereal, so to cut that in half, we are going to use 3 cups of cereal. But first, before that, we are going to add a little bit of food coloring. Now, because this is unnecessary, but I do like to use food coloring, I'm going to randomly choose so that's about 5 ounces of marshmallows. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 6 cups of the Chex into a bowl so I can just pour it straight into the marshmallow melt. That way I can avoid 2 annoying things. The first annoying thing would be if I held the box directly over the pot, I might accidentally spill too much into the pot. But if I try to stick it in 1 scoop at a time into the pot, that would take up the necessary hand that I would need for stirring. Now the marshmallows are melting down and I don't need to be constantly stirring. This is a step where you're going to add anything extra. When the marshmallows are good and melted, and after you've put in the Chex, you can add chocolate chips. Are very popular for this episode because it's a candy themed. I chose my favorite candy, or rather the only candy that I'm really not allergic to, Skittles, to put in. They really add a color, and their shininess really makes it pop. Make sure it's had a chance to cool down a bit or the Skittles can get melted. I'm also adding a 1/2 cup of coconut flakes because I really like coconut flakes. And again, at this stage, you can add pretty much up to the amount of cereal that you added, which is 3 cups. You can add anything you want in here to make this pop, to make it colorful, to make it sweeter. There you have it. A nice green flavored, because I like to use food coloring, Rice Krispie treat set.
Just one more thing.
When using sugar, this is critical. When it comes time to clean up, you want to immediately put the pots, pans, anything you touch with the sugar into the sink so you can start dissolving the sugar immediately. Unlike things with protein in them, the carbohydrates and sugar do dissolve very readily in water, but the quicker you get that in the water and the quicker you get that sugar dissolved, the easier your life is going to be when it comes to cleanup.